You mentioned a word, cash flow. What is that? What does cash flow mean? You know, I try to make this show savvy. Even I want the high school seniors to be savvy when it comes to investing, and they might not even know what that means. What does cash flow mean as opposed to whatever else?
Yeah, that's a really important question. We talk about definitions, and there's obviously a scale when we talk about cash flow. Some people are talking about cash flow today, and it's very different than what I generally talk about. So we'll get into a lot of detail over the course of the training session we'll do. But just for a simple example, I pulled up a couple of numbers on a property that we purchased about 4 years ago, and just some basic numbers you can throw down here. So I purchased the property for $3.6 million.
Okay.
The income on the property is $516,000.
516K annual is the income on this property?
Yep. Now the expenses were around $248,000. That was the annual expenses. So if we put that down for the annual expenses, $248,000. Again, we'll get into more detail on this later, but you'll notice that that's just under 50% of the income. I mean, you typically want to be in that range where your expenses, you're looking at something that could be even 55, 60% of income, depending on the capital expenditures that you're planning to budget for. But that's a reasonably good range. And that's what we expected at the time. If you subtract the income, you take the income, subtract the expenses, you get the NOI. And the NOI in this case is $268,000.
NOI means what?
Net operating income.
Okay, so 268, you said?
268. Now, the reason why I provided that particular information is just to look at cap rate. We're not going to talk too much about it, but it helps us to compare apples to apples. So when you're calculating cap rate, you just take the NOI and divide it by your purchase price or the value of the asset. So in this case, I'll give you that number. The cap rate on this property was 7.4%.
So I'm taking the 268 and I'm dividing it by 3.6 million. And so then that equals what?
It's 7.4%.
7.4% cap rate.